Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to another video. Okay, let's see what I got for you right now. If you like those British true classics from back in the days when your grandmother and your grandpa were getting married and they bought their first new car. And these cars were the type of cars that were driving down the road in the UK or other parts of the world that this car was sold. Then you are looking at the right video. Just memories, lots of memories. And if these cars can talk, they can tell you stories. But let's give you a proper presentation. What I got for you right now, it's a 143 scale 1954 MG Magnette. In reality, it's called MG Magnette, but I think from what I was looking at in the information, they go by ZA was the very first generation, and then they pick up to CB, and then after that, they go with the mark. So after that, they took away that two-letter code. But the ZA, the first generation of the magnet, it was produced between 1953 till 1956. That was the first of this model before the ZB came out. Now, basically, this model right here is an early generation of the 50s. There's models that were very similar to this one. One was the Wolseley 4/44, but that one actually came out a year earlier. But it was very similar in their looks. Now I'm gonna read this real quick. It says the Magnette ZA was announced in October 15 of 1953 at the London Motor Show. Delivery started in March of 1954. Production continued until 1956. 18,076 models were built. Okay, so basically, not huge numbers sold, but still pretty, pretty much a very unique. So now the engine on this car, it was a 1.5 four-cylinder and transmissions. If you were expecting to see automatics in this car, you were out of luck. They only came with a four-speed manual. Okay. Uh, let's see. It says here in 1955, the magazine The Motor tested the Magnet and recorded a top speed of 79.7 miles per hour. Back in the days, you were not going to get no record speed limit. I mean, in these cars, unless you were buying a real sports car that you were going to know that you were going to be going fast. These cars were more to be transport you around and with class because they were very classy. British cars, they are very, very classy, especially the classic one, the old schools like the 50s and 60s. They were they were truly, truly, truly elegant. I mean it. I always said it before. It's not my very first time saying this. They were elegant cars. You see that huge grill. You know, it kind of gives you the type of grill like the Rolls Royce were having. Not as big, but kinda. And not just the British cars. I think other brands too. Back in the days, cars they really put effort into it. When they were built, they make sure little details here and there that make these cars attractive to the eye of the buyer. Now they're worried more about safety, which is really, really important. Safety and all these options. Looks they're good too, but back then they were really, really attractive. That's just my opinion. By the way, if you haven't noticed, there's a diecast model and it's made by Oxford. It's quite a smaller brand compared to Corgi or other brands from England or UK altogether. All right, everyone, I'm going to let this beautiful car go around and around a few times, and I'll be right back. All right, everyone. You know, I really, really miss these brands. They should all come. Well, MG is still around, but it's not the MG that we remember. Now it's owned by the Chinese. Basically, they produce Chinese cars under the MG name. So it's not what you're expecting. Don't get me wrong, they're really good looking, but they're not the type of car that you may expect as if you want to see the British essence in it. Now, all these brands like Wolseley, Riley, Singer, Hillman, Rover, Austin, Morris, and so on and so on and so on. They should all make a comeback. I'm not that old, guys. Do not think and there was nothing wrong being old, but I truly like classic cars. They bring they were truly nice looking cars that you can look at them and stare at them, and you just say, wow, this was really made with a lot of effort and a lot of dedication. All right, after my 10 seconds of nonsense talking and just expressing my feelings towards these nice looking cars, I want to thank you for following me. Thank you so much for subscribing and clicking the bell next to the subscribe button. That will remind you when I'm posting more videos. Thank you so much for giving a beautiful thumbs up. I truly, truly appreciate. I mentioned before that helps me with the algorithm. Algorithm is basically sharing this system. YouTube will share this video with other fanatics of a diecast, of a resin, of a white metal vehicle, most likely a 143 or a 164. But who knows? Who knows? Never. I will never say never to any other scale. But that's my preference right now. All right, everyone, and comment below what you guys think about this nice looking MG. Did you like them? Did you find them generic for your taste? Were they looking like other vehicles to you? Or you just a fanatic of these MG Magnette? You think they were really classy, really fashion? And let me know if they were sold in your country. Are they still around? Well, this is a 1954 model, so if they're still around, hopefully they're taking care of them. It's mostly like a weekend car show type of car and driving around town to the ice cream parlor or to the park in the city center. Who knows? You got the stories. Let me know them. All right, everyone. Take care of yourselves more than ever, and goodbye.